Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, there was a sequel announced last night at the PlayStation Play event out there. Of course, got a lot of people excited out there, and well, has kind of divided the fan base a little bit when it comes to the Ghost of Tsushima sequel, Ghost of Yotoi. Now, obviously, it's one of them situations where Sucker Punch has earned a lot of fan respect and a lot of gamers trust out there with how well the first game, the Ghost of Tsushima, actually did. And a lot of people absolutely loved it. Now, it's not a game I've played, but I heard nothing but good things about it. I don't have a PlayStation 5, so it's one of them situations where I haven't got around to the game. But at the end of the day, it's one of them situations where we've seen with a lot of the kind of stuff that's been going on in the modern era right now, and there's our knee-jerk reactions because guess what? Having a female protagonist does end up as a red flag in the modern era. Why? Because we have seen this happen time and time again, where a lot of these sequels, a lot of these game companies will end up going down this direction, and this is always the first red flag. Now, we're not saying that this game is going to be woke outright just because of that, but at the end of the day, it is very much a cautionary tale. This is something that is a red flag that is completely and totally understandable for people to have a knee-jerk reaction about this. Well, boys and girls, a lot of things can end up going sideways, and the marketing for this game is not already going very well because the Ghost of Yotoi's protagonist is voiced by a radical activist, Erika Ishii, who thinks the police are white supremacists and supports transgender ideology. Color us shocked there, boys and girls. And there's already a mass blocking campaign going on by this person as well, even when people are out there trying to defend her game and trying to say that they expect it to be very, very good. But boys and girls, when they hire people like this, they have these people involved in this kind of stuff, we know where this kind of comes from. And guess what? This isn't the only example of this company out there, Sucker Punch, hiring more activists. They even have Sweet Baby Inc. ties now as well. And ladies and gentlemen, if this is going to be kind of any kind of thing that we have seen happen in the past with a lot of these companies, this is not going to end up very well for Ghost of Yotoi or, of course, Sucker Punch as a whole. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to this article of That Park Place, show you the evidence of how insane and crazy this person is they decided to hire to be the voice actor. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section. Let us know what you think about there. How do you fall on this when it comes to the game? A lot of the fan base is kind of divided out there. There are certain people that we respect on both sides of things on this situation out there that think, you know what, they're still willing to give this a chance, whether it be Az from Heels River Hazers, Vera Dark, or some of the other people out there like Eddie Mon, who honestly assume this game is just going to be another example of woke nonsense. Let us know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. And also, does this voice actress bode bad things for this game as well? We'll find out. Boys and girls, we'll find out. So from That Park Place and our dear sweet old friend John F. Trent over there, Sucker Punch, a subsidiary of the PlayStation Studios, announced their next title, Ghost of Yotoi, a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, and revealed that the game's main character, Etsuya, will be voiced by radical activist Erika Ishii. Yes, boys and girls, it doesn't seem like you can ever hit a stone these days and not find one of these crazy activists inside of the video game industry. So Sucker Punch shared on X, "We are thrilled that Etsu is being played by the amazing Erika Ishii." Now, I'm not saying Erika Ishii isn't a great voice actress. There's a very good possibility that she is. But we know with these kind of people out there with the kind of activist nonsense, we know a lot of this kind of stuff, they will end up putting their foot in their mouths out there, and maybe the mass blocking spree is actually keeping her from doing that kind of thing. But as of right now, it's even for the people that are trying to defend her out there, which is a very sad state of affairs and not a very good thing out there. Like Grum says, the jury is still out on the game, but the voice actor for Ghost of Tsushima sequel is not doing marketing any favors. No, this does not bode very well, boys and girls. So Ishii is a radical activist who claims in her X bio that she uses all pronouns and she's gender fluid, I would assume, by the way. So yes, she confirms that she is indeed mentally deranged and delusional. Furthermore, Ishii is an activist that supports body mutilation. In June, she encouraged her followers on X to support For the G-Worlds that targets black individuals to encourage them to butcher themselves. She wrote on X, "Non-black folks looking to observe Juneteenth. Black nonprofits also receive aid in boom or bust cycles. This year, considering making a monthly pledge. Whether you donate, volunteer, or commit to learning, please join me in my quest to be intentional and sustainable. I'm supporting For the G-Worlds, a black trans collective that helps pay for rent and gender-affirming surgery in the black LGBTQ community." Yes, boys and girls, she is out there encouraging her followers to donate to a nonprofit, quote unquote, that literally will pay for people to cut their healthy body parts off. This is insane. Absolutely insane and disgusting. And this is one of those things, whether or not the game is going to be woke or not, when you have these kind of people involved in projects, they influence things. We know they do, because otherwise you wouldn't hire people like this. And I don't know, maybe this person kept their politics to themselves while they were doing the game and everything else. But considering how vocal they are on their social media, come on now, I think we all know better. Once again, they promoted the exact same organization in 2023 as well. Today, please consider supporting For the Gay Works, a black trans-led nonprofit. Our black trans siblings are especially vulnerable now, and I donated in honor of Juneteenth 2023 and Pride 23. But please join me in pledging to do our best to support black justice year round, because that's always the guys forcing their mental delusional nonsense onto other people and trying to advocate for absolutely disgusting and disturbing things. Color us shocked there. It's always about justice. And of course, she also was one of those ones that used to claim that she was a huge Harry Potter fan and yada, yada, yada. But all because J.K. Rowling came out there and said boys are boys and girls are girls, and no matter how much mutilation and drugs you give people, that's not going to change anything. Of course, she was like, no. Well, how well that boycott work out? That's right. Hogwarts Legacy ended up becoming the #1 selling game of the year. And if this is the kind of activism you're going to get to this person about the video game industry and vocally voicing their opinions, how well do you think this is going to work out when this person starts talking about your current video game out there? In a subsequent post, Ashie added, muting, but wanted to reiterate, trans rights are human rights. First off, mutilating yourself is not a human right. It's actually a sign of mental disorder. And also, the labors that were required to involved in that are not a human right. If you have to force someone else to do something for you, it's not a human right. You do not have the rights to other people's labor, ever. I ask instead of replying to negative comments that turn the effort towards a positive action. Donation, sharing, supporting trans creators and trans joy, or checking in with your trans friends and their happiness. So it goes on. Not only should she support body mutilation, she also claims that she was a big supporter of the mostly peaceful protest back in 2020. You know, remember like the billions of dollars of insurance damage and the companies and the businesses that went out of sale and like the black owned businesses and the people that lost their lives that were black during these things. Yeah, that were supposed to be all about justice for black people. Yeah, all of that kind of stuff. Says not only does she report the body mutilation and transgender ideology, but she also claims that the police are white supremacists. Back in 2021, she wrote, we will not let these terrorists shake our resolve. 2020 showed us that we will rise up and make our voices heard. Despite voter suppression, facing down a white supremacist police force, risking health and safety, we hit the polls and streets to say no more. They can't stop us. They can't stop you from burning down a bunch of black and minority-owned businesses. That's what they can't stop you from, and rioting and burning down a bunch of people's neighborhoods. Yeah. I'm sure that worked out well. Historically, the answer to an attempted coup is it never acknowledges legitimacy. We will not ignore this. We will treat these terrorist thugs like the unlawful mob they are and hold accountable those responsible for that. Of course, in response to January 6th. And of course, she roasted YouTube for allowing people to talk about white supremacy and Islamophobia in relation to an actual shooting that happened down there in New Zealand. So yes, this lady is literally off the deep end. She is even down with the Islamophobia stuff, which guess what? If you went to a country where Islam was the ruling and dominant religion and also controlled the government, which they generally always try to do, you would have not very good things happen to you. Let's just say that. But by all means, go ahead and support the people out there who would like to remove your head from your shoulders. That's going to work out really, really well. But it's not done there. Because on top of hiring Ishii, Sucker Punch hired former Insomniac Games community manager and Sweet Baby Inc. defender Thomas Hart to be the company's community manager beginning in April of 2024. How well did that work out for Helldivers, ladies and gentlemen? Another Sony subsidiary with that company out there as well. This is not going to end well. It is only a matter of time before these people start coming out there and saying a bunch of dumb things. Like I said, we already know that the voice actor is out there blocking people left and right. Like Hypnotic said, I've never spoken with or interacted with this person in my entire life. But this is what these people do. As soon as they hear any kind of criticism, as soon as they kind of hear any kind of backlash, instead of either just keeping their mouths shut, they go on mass flagging campaigns. And I'm sure there will only be a matter of time before we see comments about this from this person and from this community manager talking about, oh, you're just a racist, you're just a phobe, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. If you don't like this kind of stuff, if you don't like it, you just hate women and you just hate female protagonists, da-da-da-da. That's not the case. And honestly, you know what? I legitimately hope this game is great. right? And I hope that these people don't influence this game and the community in any way, shape, or form. But boys and girls, we have seen this kind of song and dance done time and time again. So yes, you are absolutely perfectly well within your rights to be worried about this as soon as they roll out a female protagonist for a game that before had a male protagonist. You are absolutely right to be worried because they hired a voice actress who is clearly possessed by the spirit of the age and has no problem pushing their demonic agenda onto the rest of the world and advocating for people to do horrible things to them. And then on top of it, hire a sweet baby ink defender as your community manager. Ladies and gentlemen, needless to say, more than likely we will end up being right. This will not end up going very well for them. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope this game is great and that none of this stuff affects it in any way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, red flags exist for a reason. History doesn't just repeat itself. It also rhymes, and once burned, twice shy is the standard. And trust me, boys and girls, the video game industry out there, the video gamers out there, and all the fans have been burned far more than once by this. So understand where they're coming from, understand their reactions, and know that when you hire people like this, you are guaranteed you're going to end up getting backlash for it. Now, it's only a matter of time to find out whether or not they've actually gone woke.